The Gambia is a small country in West Africa where the number of deaths of mothers, babies and children remains very high. Since 2006, the Ministry of Health has put in place measures to help pregnant women, babies and children through a partnership with the World Health Organization and two UK-based charities. The goal has been to develop a better system for managing emergencies in the National Health Service. For 95% of the population, the NHS provides the only healthcare available. So why is it important to strengthen emergency care? This is illustrated in the patient pathway, which aims to provide a continuity of emergency care from the bedside at home to the hospital. A countrywide assessment in 2006 showed a number of problems with emergency care. This picture shows the main components of the program. One of the main developments has been a training program in how to manage emergencies for all those involved in patient care. The main emergencies addressed involved those in pregnancy, in the newborn infant and in the child, and in any persons affected by major trauma. Since January 2007, 217 Gambian registered nurses and midwives and a small number of Gambian and Cuban doctors have received training in emergency care. 33 are now fully accredited instructors. 83 traditional birth attendants and 48 village health workers have received training in the recognition of emergencies and in knowing how to initiate basic resuscitation, including breathing assistance for newborn infants who do not breathe at birth, and on how to contact the emergency ambulance service, known locally as the Flying Squad. This is the entrance in Basse Major Health Center Hospital. In 2009, a training course in emergency care was carried out for nurses and midwives working in the region of the hospital. The film that follows shows some of this training. The course is interactive and involves lectures, workshops, skill stations and scenarios where real-life emergencies are managed on mannequins. Here we see a breech delivery being practiced. Breech delivery, where the bottom comes first rather than the head, is potentially dangerous for both baby and mother if it's not managed correctly.
Let's see who's better, the other one will come. Very good. Let me get that one also. Right. So, okay. Ladies.
I am tired.
Okay.
I am not tired.
Right. The nape of the neck is visible now. Let me help you. Okay. Right. Right. Baby is here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Try to go now for a senior help. Yes. Something. Okay? Anyone can help. So don't think that there's no help. Alright? Sometimes it's difficult. You are the boss, you are the one who is the most experienced boss.
A common dangerous complication of birth is when the shoulder of the baby becomes wedged in the birth canal. Skills to address this are being taught here. Skills to manage fits and massive hemorrhage are taught and practiced in skill stations and scenarios. Both conditions are major causes of maternal death in the Gambia. Particularly important skills that are taught and practiced are resuscitation of newborn infant and techniques for providing fluid and blood intravenously in an emergency. Here, a technique for providing an emergency infusion through a needle in the bone marrow is shown. At the end of the course is a test where each student is asked to undertake a scenario involving some aspect of resuscitation.
My name is Samantha Kamara, a state registered nurse working at Basse Health Center. Compared to before, there are a lot of things that I didn't know. Very simple things like, for example, the structural approach, where you only use the ABC to save somebody's life, which I've been neglecting before. Because before, I always think when we have severe asphyxia, that is, the moment the baby is born, the baby can't breathe, he can't do anything, I always think that the baby is dead. Fortunately for us, we are able to save the life of the baby.
We now move on to look at a new part of the system developed to strengthen emergency healthcare by improving the links between home and hospital and cutting down on the delays which result in many deaths and great suffering. The emergency ambulance system, or flying squad, involves the training of traditional birth attendants and village health workers in the recognition of emergencies. In addition, equipment to facilitate their contact with the hospital, namely mobile telephones, are provided. Each traditional birth attendant and village health worker is also equipped with a bag and mask system to resuscitate newborn infants and a thermometer to check for infection. A skilled birth attendant is on call at the hospital 24 hours a day and has a portable emergency kit that is taken to the emergency in the home. The skilled birth attendant is supported by a driver and a four-wheel drive ambulance. Since May 2007, 109 patients have been transferred by the flying squad system. All pregnant mothers have survived. The main groups of patients transferred by the flying squad are pregnant mothers with heavy bleeding, fitting, high blood pressure, obstructed labor, and twin or breech births. Less common reasons for transfer are shown here. A key aspect of the strengthening emergency healthcare program is the renovation of the hospitals and provision of essential emergency equipment, some of which is new and some second-hand. Examples of poor quality equipment originally in the hospital can be seen here. Dangerous electrical wiring problems in the hospital were repaired, and water and sanitation was a priority to minimize cross-infection risk. Here is a broken bag and mask, which was the only one available for resuscitating newborn infants who did not breathe at birth. Here is the entrance to the operating theatre before renovation. Some of the toilets were in very poor condition.
People can walk in
and out anytime they want.
At any time into the facility.
Due to the lack of a perimeter fence around the hospital in Essel, goats and other animals run freely within the hospital grounds. Here, a goat is entering the labor ward. Here we see the examination couch and resuscitation area within the labor ward at Essel Hospital before re-equipping and renovation occurred. Also seen here are the labour ward beds. This is the current and very cramped labour ward at Basse Hospital. Following the promise of funding, this labour ward will be expanded into the space currently occupied by a derelict ward. This work should be completed by the end of the rainy season in 2010. Improvements to staff accommodation are urgently needed in all hospitals.
Yeah, these are 2 bathrooms and 2 toilets for staff residents in this quarters and in the other quarters. So this is where they all used to come and have their staff toilets.
These are the toilets and showers situated at some distance away from homes of staff, a potential security problem at night. Here we visit the home
How many people
of one
live in
of the
here?
nurses
She
working
lives
at
here with
SL
2
Hospital.
of her children. These 2 children.
And in here?
Both live here with their sister.
Our hope is that nurses' homes will be expanded back to the perimeter fence. We're now visiting the kitchen in the home of the officer in charge at SL Health Center. The oven is not working and cooked food is brought in by the local community. New and high-quality second-hand equipment from the UK is seen here, ready to be shipped in a container. Most progress has been made in Brikama Major Health Center Hospital. Here we see the advances made in terms of renovation and equipment for the maternity and children's areas of the hospital. Local government in Brikama has helped to build a gate at the entrance to the hospital and establish a security system. We see key staff, including the officer in charge of Brikama Hospital, next to the ambulance and outside the maternity unit. This shows the renovated operating theatre, a new autoclave, a renovated theatre light, a second-hand operating table, a new anesthetic machine, and new electrical suction system. The recovery room is well equipped for 2 patients. Here is the renovated children's ward. This is the renovated and equipped ward for mothers before and after birth. 3 mothers who have recently undergone emergency cesarean sections, as shown with their babies. In this post-operative recovery area are 2 other mothers who, within the previous 24 hours, had successfully undergone cesarean section. This is the renovated and re-equipped labour ward, showing the resuscitation area for newborn infants and a new oxygen concentrator. The officer in charge of Brikama Hospital, Mr. Aliu Sonko, demonstrates the emergency trolley placed next to the resuscitation platform. We now move to SL Hospital. The program of renovation and equipment is about to begin. One of the first main problems found was a lack of running water to the hospital, resulting from a broken pump. Here we see a new one which has just been installed. The existing children's ward at SL Hospital is relatively well resourced, thanks to local support of the community.
It's been having diarrhea and vomiting.
Okay.
It's very common of recent.
Yes.
Yeah, in all the health facilities, and it's been the major problem, right now.
Okay.
Most of the kids admitted now are suffering from diarrhea and vomiting.
Okay.
Yeah. Here as well.
Gastroenteritis.
Diarrhea and vomiting, yes. Gastroenteritis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Finally, we review the improvements to Basse Hospital. Of most importance for the 250,000 people served by this hospital was the need for a functioning operating theatre. Here we see the recently renovated operating theatre, including a number of new and second-hand pieces of essential equipment. There is a new anesthetic machine designed for poorly resourced countries. The room is newly tiled and there is a good floor drainage system. There are proper hand washing and changing facilities, including shower and toilet. Here is the peri-operative nurse and the officer in charge of Basse Hospital in their newly renovated recovery unit. Here is a newborn baby and her mother. The baby did not breathe at birth, but was successfully resuscitated by labor ward staff. Evaluation of the project is being undertaken, but it's not easy, given the lack of trained nurses and doctors available in the country. Each nurse, midwife, and doctor trained in emergency care is given a personal logbook to keep, in which they document every resuscitation undertaken. The analysis of these resuscitations undertaken between 2007 and 2009 is shown here. Here is a summary of the program to date. In essence, this involves a close working partnership between national government, WHO, and 2 UK charities. It aims to be sustainable and manage emergencies with minimal delay from the bedside through to the hospital.